What's up, people? I'm really excited about this episode because in this particular episode, I get to interview both of the guys who flipped their canoe. If you haven't already seen the previous video about how I find a flipped over canoe, you might want to check out that link first, then come back to this one. Here's the link right here. All right, guys, so I'm not posting this video to make fun of these guys. I'm not posting this video to say anything mean about these guys. So if I see anybody saying anything mean in the comments below, I'm going to remove those because I want you guys to respect these guys. They made a mistake. They were out there trying to catch big fish. We all try to do that, and it just went wrong for them that particular night. So I'm just personally glad they're okay, and I'm really, really glad they were willing to talk to me about it so we could find out what happened. So no negative comments, only positive, and let's hear what they have to say. Fishing at night can be really dangerous. Anytime fishing, honestly, can be dangerous. So unfortunately, these guys just got into a bit of trouble last night, but I want to hear from you guys. What were you after, and what happened?
We were after some big brown trout.
Okay.
Just got caught in the current and it flipped us.
Okay. So you guys were headed to a spot where there was some calm water, but you had to pass through some fast water, and what exactly happened?
Was trying to move through it and got turned sideways and it flipped us over.
Okay, yeah. So guys, that's very similar to what happened to me about 10 years ago. Is once that canoe gets turned sideways, if that current starts to kind of suck down, you can't stop it, right? I mean, once that weight shifts, especially in a canoe, I mean, it's over. So all right, so then you guys are dumped. What time first of all, what time is it?
About 2:30 in the morning.
2:30 in the morning.
Yes.
All right.
And it's only about 35 degrees outside.
So clearly, probably no one's around.
Yeah.
And hold on, how cold was it?
About 35 degrees.
All right, so guys, it's about 35 degrees. If you have ever actually put your feet or tried to swim in the Watauga River, it's real cold, okay? So now, what was the next thing that happened? Because at this point you flipped, so what's going through your brains? What do you do next?
Try to get to shore.
Okay.
Trying to get out of the water.
Okay. And obviously you're wearing a sling, so tell everybody what happened. He has a similar situation to me. I do this often, but go ahead and tell the people.
When I flipped, my shoulder dislocated. I had to try and
gosh.
swim with one arm. And
So you're, so let me get this straight. So I know the place, right? And this is a very dangerous place. We've got fast moving water, calm water. We're flipping in the fast water. So you now have one arm and you're dislocated. So I'm at this point, you're probably not feeling as much pain as just shock and trying to survive here, but kind of go through your mind. What were you feeling? Do you feel like you were gonna make it?
I didn't know at that point. I really didn't. I was just trying to get out of the water.
Okay, okay. That's terrifying. All right, now how did you get out of the water?
Finally, I was able to get to a tree that was out in the water. I caught onto it and dragged myself inland.
Oh my gosh. All right, now simultaneously, we have his brother over here, okay? So now what happened to you?
I got swept downriver away from him to the rock wall. I had to climb onto trees, pull myself along, then finally climb onto the rock wall. Okay, so at a certain point, when did we realize that the canoe was kind of a goner, or at least that you had to abandon it?
Well, I wasn't with it as soon as it flipped.
Okay, so you were just downriver.
I was upriver. It went downriver.
I see. Okay, so swept downriver.
I tried to hold on to it to save it, but after I couldn't get in, I said, "Foo on," got to the wall.
Yeah, yeah. Well, at a certain point, it's kind of like, all right, well, we gotta live. We gotta fish some other day, right? We gotta catch those brown trout. So, pretty crazy story. I'm sure a lot of you guys have stories similar to this. So it just goes to show, like, be safe when you're out there. But you know what? These guys were out at the right time of day for really big brown trout, so they had the right idea. Logistically, it just went wrong that evening, right? So
it went way wrong.
It went way wrong. You heard it from Thomas first, okay? So, all right, so guys, I appreciate that. Any follow-up comments? Anything else?
Yeah, be safe.
Okay, be safe. Any tips for future endeavors at night? Because I'm sure other people are probably going to try to go out at night. Any tips?
Don't do it when it's generating.
Okay, don't do it when it's generating.
Yeah.
That's a good tip, right? I mean, I personally don't do it when it's generating just for the same reason. It's just, I just want to be safe. They knew there were fish out there, and obviously they were at the right spot, but you know, just a dangerous time, and it just went wrong. So guys, I'm personally glad you're okay. If you watch my video, you know that I was concerned. And ultimately you got your kayak back, or canoe back, right?
Got my canoe back. It's gonna take a little bit of work getting it back
in
the water, but
yeah, let's go ahead and walk over here real quick. Let's show everybody. So we've got a few things missing. It normally comes with two, what I would call, like, I don't know, like end pieces or seats, and then usually some sort of middle support bar / other seat. So looks like you guys might have a little bit of work ahead of you to kind of fix it up.
Yes.
But
it's gonna get back in the water though. I gotta heal up first. But
of course, yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll see you guys out there again before too long, but in the meantime, hope you feel better, and hopefully you catch lots of fish in the future and no more incidents.
Yeah,
So All right, you guys, so we just heard back from Thomas and Dustin about what happened that evening from a firsthand perspective, right? And it's pretty terrifying, right? It's definitely one of those things where I hate for anybody to be in a bad situation, but especially at night when it's really cold out to flip a boat, that's really, really scary. I'm glad they're both okay. So with that in mind, I just want to do a couple quick takeaways, right, of things that we should do if we're going to go night fishing, because this video is not meant to say, hey, don't go out at night, don't go night fishing, because you can catch a lot of big fish at night, and it's actually a really fun thing to do. But if you do it, here are some power tips to help you make sure you're extra safe, right? So the first thing is always tell somebody where you're going, okay? Don't ever just go out and not say where you're going, especially if you're going night fishing, because you know, if you end up going missing or something does happen to you, you get stranded, you get a dislocated shoulder, something bad happens. If no one knows where you are, they're not going to be able to find you, okay? So make sure you always tell somebody where you're going, right? For me, that's typically my wife and usually a few friends. The next thing is always wear a flotation device, right? So in this case, what I mean is a life vest. That's very, very important. Wear it at night. Make sure it's not just in your boat, but that you're wearing your life vest, because you never know when you're going to suddenly hit a rock, when something may happen that you don't see because it's at night and it's really dark. So make sure you always have your life vest. Always carry a form of light as well, right? Whether it's a lantern, a headlamp, a flashlight, you always need something on the boat to let other boaters know where you are. And then the last thing that I think is really, really important, guys, is that we know what kind of water you're getting into before you go at night, right? So if you want to go on a night fishing trip and it's your first time going to that location, make sure you go during the day first to scout it, right? Or only fish areas that you're very familiar with, right? When I go out and I do my night fishing trips and, you know, I record and catch a lot of brown trout, I'm not going somewhere new, guys. This is a place that I've been to many, many times, and you can ask some of my friends. They know where I'm at. And I'm very familiar. I know where every rock is. I know where every like seam in the water is. And I'm very familiar. Make sure you're very familiar and comfortable with the area you're in. Make sure there aren't rapids. Make sure there aren't fast-moving sections of water, because that can get you into a lot of trouble. I try to go to areas where it's very smooth and calm, and I never go out when it's generating, right? And I think you guys know why now, but just talking to Thomas and Dustin, right? You can get into a lot of trouble quickly. So you want to make sure that you just are really safe, you're really careful. Night fishing can be one of the more exciting ways to fish. I personally love it. And I'm happy that people go out and night fish, but I just want you guys to not get hurt. I want you to be safe. So I hope we all learned something from this evening. I'd like to personally thank Thomas and Dustin for being willing to talk to me about this. And yeah, I hope everybody is safe out on the water. And until next time, tight lines.
3, 2, 1.